What's up YouTube? Jeff here again from High on Android and DopeTechDaily.com. Today, I'm pretty excited. I got the ZTE Axon phone in from Amazon in the blue color. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick unboxing of this phone because I want you guys just to see the retail packaging experience. I think a lot of people like my unboxings for that reason. So we're going to do a quick unboxing. I'll just show you the phone, what's inside, talk a little bit about the build, and then I'm actually going to use this phone for 24 hours, kind of like I did with the S6 Active, and then give you some impressions after 24 hours, initial battery life, camera tests, whatever I can say before I do the full review. So I'm going to edit this whole video together, the retail unboxing, plus a few initial impressions tomorrow. I'll post that up and that'll be the final product that you guys are seeing. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so let's get straight into the retail unboxing of the ZTE Axon here. It's got a really nice white packaging. A couple people I've seen on the internet have compared this to the iPhone packaging for the iPhone 6S. You can see here actually, if you look carefully at the details, maybe a little hard to see in the light, but this thing actually has sort of an outline on the phone that's raised up on the top of the box. That's similar to the way the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6S were presented. You've got the name right there in the center, and then of course you can see through here to the camera module on the back. See there, designed in the USA, and then ZTE on the side. Let's go ahead and pop it open. If you pop it open, you can see here, there's a few fingerprints on it. I took it out just to inspect it to make sure everything was good when I got it from Amazon. This phone is available for $449.98 from Amazon, Newegg, and also, of course, from ZTE's website as well. So if you want to buy it, you have those choices for the outlets. If you pop the phone out of here, take a look at the build in just a second on the phone. This little tray for the phone there. Of course, as always, you got a little package here of booklets. And if we pop open the booklets, it's my first time looking at the rest of the stuff inside. You've got, of course, some quick start guide. Shows you how to install the nano SIM and some other various stuff that we don't really need. So I'll just put that away. Yeah, then some interesting stuff in here. Of course, you always have a SIM card, SIM tool ejector. So here you can just eject your SIM card with that guy. It's good because I'm traveling. I have a whole bunch of these at home, but I actually don't have one with me in Pittsburgh. So that to the side. Never very interesting. You get a little plain micro USB cable. This thing doesn't have any ZTE branding. It actually looks very similar to the Lightning cable from Apple, so maybe ZTE is going to take even more criticism for copying Apple in their packaging. Power brick, which I guess looks a little different than Apple's, but still pretty similar actually, with a sort of all white theme. I'm not saying they are copying them, but it is similar. And then of course the main attraction that makes this phone actually worth getting in terms of accessories that come in the box. You can see right here, the light hitting off that nice silver. Comes with these really nice premium JBL headphones. Let's go ahead and pop them open really quick. They're the JBL E13s. You can see right there from the packaging. Let's pop them out really quick. Oh yeah, it's really nice. You got a tangle-free cable. See there, that's a flat cable. It's tangle-free. And you've got some extra tips here for your headphones. So just in case you have different size ears, everybody has different size ears. You got the small, medium, and large. Looks like the medium are installed by default. So again, I'm going to use the phone for 24 hours after doing the unboxing. So one of the things I'll be checking out are these JBL headphones, letting you know about the audio quality. See, it's got the nice silver JBL branding right there on the headphones. And you also have got your audio controls right here. Nice little inline remote. That's always a good look. So it's really nice to have such a really quality pair of headphones included, and a separate box for the headphones inside the actual packaging for the Axon. So I think that's definitely a really nice thing. I'm going to go ahead and put these things back in here. There we go. There we go. Put my SIM tool back in there. Put the box to the side for a second. And then let's take a quick look around the phone. So the phone here, this is the blue color. Some people have called it black on the internet, but you can actually see there with the light hitting it. This is a blue. It's a really dark blue. I think it actually looks really nice. It's got sort of this royal theme with the blue and the gold accents here on the camera module. You've also got some gold accents right here on your volume up and down buttons, and on your power button as well. You've got gold accents. And then you can see here that on the front of the phone, you've got out front here, you got these nice grills here for your speaker. Then you have a screen here, 5.5 inches, QHD screen. You have, of course, your buttons are going to be down here, the buttons for controlling the phone. You've got a 13 megapixel, 2 megapixel dual rear camera, along with an 8 megapixel front facing camera for all those selfie lovers out there. The phone has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage on board out of the box. Has had fast charging right there, of course, via the supplied cable and power brick. What else to mention about the phone? It has a Snapdragon 810, so I'll be testing this thing for any heat issues, of course, see if we have any heating problems with it coming out of the box. But otherwise, the phone looks to be really good. It's running, Android 5.1.1, I believe, and otherwise has some really great features for a phone for only $450. It's really got flagship specs, flagship processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Should be a lot of fun to get into. I'm most interested to see about the camera. The camera is the thing that's typically suffering when you don't have a big name phone like Samsung or LG. And then, of course, also testing some of the other things like battery life. Has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, seeing how much we can get out of that with a QHD. All right, so again, I'm going to use it for 24 hours. I'll be back tomorrow with some impressions. Those are just the initial specs. It feels really good in hand, sort of right out of the box. It's really solid. It's a little bit thicker than I might like or that you might like. It's not nearly as thin as some of the other flagships, but it does have a nice hefty build to it. Definitely like the gold accents. Overall, the phone feels really nice. Now I'm going to go use it. I'll be back with some impressions in 24 hours. We'll go ahead then and sort of see what this phone's all about, and I'll get back with you guys then. Alright guys, so I just finished using the Axon Pro from ZTE for about 24 hours. Well, a little bit longer than 24 hours actually. Sort of got a little carried away here on vacation, so I tested it out a little bit longer. So I have some first impressions on the phone. So you guys have already seen the packaging. Check that out in the last few moments when I did the initial unboxing. But now I want to say a few things about the phone itself after using it. First, a few things about the outside of the phone. This phone is definitely a fingerprint magnet on the back. It's not to say I don't like the phone. You can see, if you see the light picks it up a little bit, you definitely got some fingerprints there. If you use it without a case, you're going to get a lot of fingerprints on here, so you want to make sure you have your little cloth if that bothers you. Another thing about the body of the phone that I neglected to mention in the unboxing, I forgot, I think I pointed out but didn't detail it. This button right here, the bottom here, this is actually a camera button, so you can use this to capture your photos with a physical button instead of using the touchscreen if you like. Overall, the button placement, I actually like the button placement on the phone quite a bit. So the button placement, the power buttons right over here. It's actually not bad for button placement, to be honest. And the volume button's also very responsive right here in a pretty nice place on the other side of the phone. And so overall, the build quality of the phone I found to be pretty nice. It's a bit thicker than, again, that I might like. I actually got my LG G4 out and took the case off of it so I could show you guys a quick comparison between the two. So if you take a look, here you got the G4, here we got the Axon. If we just sort of put them side by side, you can see that the Axon phone is a bit thicker than the G4. It's also a bit taller than the G4. The G4 is a little bit wider if you place them side by side, but only by a tiny bit. They're actually about the same width, but the ZTE is certainly thicker and also taller, as you can see. So of course the G4 is well known as one of the easiest to sort of grip and use with one hand for a 5.5 inch phone. The Axon is a little bit bigger. If you put a case on this phone is going to be substantially thicker, which is a little annoying, of course. So the G4 is still the king of small, quote unquote, 5.5 inch devices. So it doesn't really compare with the G4 in terms of thickness. What else to say about the outside of the phone? The buttons on this phone, again, they're on-screen buttons. It's going to the software, sort of. You've got this home button here, and then you've got your back button, your recent apps button. You can customize those inside the settings, of course, no problem. One thing that's nice is that when you have a notification, this home button here will glow, sort of like an LED light that you might have up top. It glows to let you know that you have a notification. That's a pretty nice little feature for those of you who like to be able to see your notifications. I think that's about it in terms of the hardware. It does have a front speaker, of course, and the earpiece up here. The speaker is quite loud. I'll have a full review of that with some sound tests in my full review of the Axon Pro. But the speaker quality is actually really, really good, of course. You expect that to be much better when it's on the front instead of the bottom or the back. That's pretty much it about the hardware. One thing I did want to say that also is included in the box that I said I would detail a little bit in my review, just some initial impressions. These JBL E13 headphones are actually pretty unbelievable audio quality. This is a $50 pair of earbuds that they give you for free. So essentially, if you don't have a pair of headphones, or even if you do, this is actually a really good backup pair. So I use Bose and Beats as my main headphones, and I found these to be of, almost the same quality. Actually, they're really good. They're really comfortable. I'll have a more detailed review of these as well. But these are really, really good. Really nice of them to include these. All right. So now that we've talked a little bit about the hardware, let me have a few initial impressions of the software and the camera for you. You can see here that you have pretty much the same pull-down menu that you would have in basic Lollipop on your Nexus or on your Motorola device. And indeed, if you go into the settings as well, you see pretty much the same familiar settings. In terms of onboard storage, I've already installed a few apps, but the onboard storage was about 22 gigabytes, I believe, to start. See how I've got 20.46 remaining now, but about 22 to start. Everything is a pretty nice stock-looking experience. They do have this sort of quick actions here. If you swipe up from the home button, gives you your music, your more, gives you some news, some stuff from Yahoo. There's a little bit of bloatware installed, but you can still easily get to Google Now just by holding down the home button. Get your familiar Google Now cards as well. So as you can see, this is pretty stock Lollipop. So if you like the Moto X feel, if you like the Nexus 6 feel, you're going to love the software on the ZTE Axon. It's actually refreshing to see a Chinese company go with a more stock feel than adding all of these colorful animations and really customizing the skin. So my initial impressions are a very fluid sort of OS experience. I really like that. Haven't had much lag at all or anything like that. Lastly, my last thing I want to mention is the camera. If you check out my Instagram, I took some pictures over there, and so go there and check out a few of the pictures if you want to see some more of the quality. But the camera itself has quite a few features. Actually has this dual camera setup on the back, which I mentioned in the unboxing. See right there at the top, you've got the 13 megapixel along with a 2 megapixel camera, and that allows you to get this extra depth of field. So they have a tab here where you can actually get an effective, they claim an effective f1.0 f-stop. So that's obviously not the true aperture value, but that's what they claim from the dual camera setup. So that's kind of nice. It allows you to get some extra sort of depth of field if you want in your shots. It also has a bunch of various modes: interval mode, manual mode, slow motion, sport, panorama, and multi-exposure. So there's a lot of fun things to play around with in the camera. So far the quality is quite good. It's definitely not LG G4 or S6 level quality, but it is quite a good camera for a $450 phone. Of course, the only issue is it does suffer in low light situations, which is what you would expect from a phone that's around the $450 price instead of, flagship specs, etc. So I still need to test gaming performance and other things on this phone. Of course, all of that will be in the full review. Just wanted to give you some initial impressions. The battery life seems to be pretty good. I easily got through a full day with about 20% remaining, about 3.5 hours screen on time. Probably could have gotten to about 4 hours and 15 minutes. So I'll continue doing some battery life tests before the full review and let you guys know what I think overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed my initial impressions and unboxing of the ZTE Axon phone. I will have the full review coming up in a few weeks when I get back to Phoenix. I'll be leaving Pittsburgh to go home on Monday, so expect to see quite a few more videos dropping as I get back home and get back into the swing of things. All right, guys, this has been Jeff from HighOnAndroid, DopeTechDaily.com. Appreciate you guys watching.